What do you see on your screen?
You've previously logged into Zoom video live stream. Now we're watching you.
You're watching me do this
Yeah.
screen thing.
Yep.
Apologies for that. Um, Connect.
Not working?
It won't share to the Joy of Troy page. It will share to the Adventure Club. So I'm not going to share. I'm going to just record and then I'll edit the recording and I'll post it later. Or I could share it to my personal page and then share that to Joy of Troy. What do you want me to do?
Why don't you do that?
Okay. Normally this is smooth like butter, but it's not today. And I blame it on the Mac.
Good evening. We want to welcome everyone to our Tuesday with the Doctor. My name is Elder Annette Barnes. We want to welcome those who are with us on Zoom as those watching on Facebook Live. This evening, we have some special guests with us from Russell Sage College to talk with us about taking a holistic and healthy approach to aging. I was really hoping we would find the fountain of youth, but I guess we'll see. We hope this will be helpful for someone you know or for yourself. Our speakers will give us a presentation and then take questions afterwards. And you can ask questions afterwards by either unmuting yourself, putting your questions in the chat during or after the presentation, and those on Facebook can put questions in the comments section. If you have questions that you would like to ask anonymously, you can send them directly to me in the chat. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to the Russell Sage College students to introduce themselves and to give us their presentation.
So before they start, I would just like to speak to them. I'm very proud of them. This group of students are second-year students. I'm Dr. Katrin Ramsey, and I teach them orthopedics, musculoskeletal systems, and this is really the next generation of great compassionate caregivers that are going to be out there taking care of us. And they've done a really great job on this presentation, so I hope you enjoy it, and I'll let them take it from here and just admire all their work.
Will you be introducing yourself?
We were going to be introducing ourselves as we presented our slides during the
Yeah.
presentation. Yeah.
Do you want me to present your slides or do you have your
Would
slides?
you be able to share it? Do you have the presentation available to be
I
shared?
have it available to share, yes.
Thank you. Okay, perfect. So my name is Nate. I'm going to be introducing our presentation. We're going to be talking about taking a holistic and healthy approach into aging. So for a brief overview of our presentation, we're going to be beginning with an introduction into what health promotion is, then move into different types of activities that you can participate in, benefits of each of these activities, and then at the end of the presentation, we're going to give you guys some recommendations on how you can get active in your community and different ways that you can apply what we speak about into your daily life.
Okay, hi, I'm Victoria. I'm going to be introducing health promotion. We're just going to be going over a quick overview of what it is and how we can modify our activities so we can participate in health promotion. So what it is ways we can take control over our individual health and wellness and can include exercise and activity participation. So under the second bullet point, we talk about modification of our activities. So modifiable risks are something that through us changing, we can help reduce the risk of disease development. So for example, exercise participation would be a modifiable risk, as would something like our diet and how much sleep we get.
So this slide basically just tells you a little bit about what each of us are going to be talking about throughout the rest of the presentation. So before we get started going into what all of these are, does anybody want to share their favorite exercise that they like to participate in?
Resistance training.
Why do you like resistance training, Josh?
I like resistance training. I just think it's really fun to be able to see my progression with lifting weights. Yeah, and I just like to stay active overall. So
Yeah, no, that's great. I see somebody else at pickleball. I love that. I think that's so fun. It's a nice aerobic exercise as well. So how about we just get started on telling everybody what each of these are going to be?
Switch the slide? Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
That's okay. Hi, I'm Lydia. I'm going to be talking today about mind body exercise. So, mind body exercise is a low impact, moderate intensity aerobic exercise. And this exercise emphasizes muscle stretching and relaxation, body coordination, breathing, and movement control. So mind body exercise falls under the study of neuroimmunology, which is the study of how the mind, our thoughts, can impact our nervous and immune system. So our mind can send out either a response of stress or relaxation. And through mind body exercises such as Tai Chi, yoga, Pilates, 8-section brocade, and many others, we can balance these stress and relaxation and create a strong mind-body connection, which can increase balance, quality of life, bone health, sleep quality, and also decrease fear and pain levels. You can go to the next slide. So 8-section brocade is a traditional Chinese exercise that consists of 8 distinctive movements that are slow, coordinated, and focus on stretching and aligning the body while integrating deep breathing. It has been shown to improve flexibility, circulation, posture, stress reduction, and just overall health. So today I'm going to be showing you the first 3 movements of the 8-section brocade, and I would love if you could join with me. If we are going to be standing up, so if you have any balance issues, please make sure there is something nearby in case you need to hold on. Or you could also just do the the arm movements while you're sitting. So if you'd like to stand up, you are more than welcome to. So first, I just want everyone to kind of get relaxed, take some breathing just as you normally would, and try to allow your mind to be peaceful and relaxed. The first movement is called 2 hands that hold up the heavens. This helps regulate internal organs. So first, we're going to interlace our fingers, and while you inhale, bring your arms up and face your palms to the ceiling. Also look up, and now look forward. Exhale and bring your arms down. Good job. So we'll do this again, and lock the fingers. Inhale, bring your arms up, look forward, and down. And one more time, interlock the fingers. We're inhaling, bring the arms up, look forward, and down. Good job. So the next one is draw the bow to shoot the arrow. This helps improve lung and liver function. So this one, we are going to start with crossing our arms, and then we will step out with our foot, and then you'll shoot the arrow and bring it back. I apologize, you can't see my feet, but so now we'll try. So we'll cross the arms, step out, and shoot the arrow. Good job, everyone. We'll do it one more time. So cross the arms, step out, and shoot the arrow. So I just have one more. This is separating heaven and earth. This helps regulate the spleen and stomach. So while we're inhaling, we're going to bring one hand up and have the palm face the ceiling, and the other hand is going to be facing down and pushing away. So, and then exhale and relax. And now we'll do the other arm up and the other arm down, and exhale and relax. And one more time to each side. So one palm up, one palm down, and relax. And then other palm up, other palm down, and relax. Good job, everyone. So I do have more information in the handout about this if you would like to learn about all of these exercises.
All right, so right into Tai Chi. So Lydia gave us a quick introduction to some Tai Chi-like movements. So first I want to explain what Tai Chi is. It is really hallmarked by these slow movements, and it's a great low impact activity for joint protection and may be great for beginners. It also focuses on the mind-body relationship like we initially referred to. And some benefits of Tai Chi, as you can see with the list I have on the slide, can include decreased falls, reduction of stroke risk, improving your balance, and also fostering heart and lung health. And then on the right of the slide, similar to the graphic on the slide before, these are some exercises you can go through. They are also on the handout if you wanted to give them a look over later. But I just thought they were some great exercises to help get you interested in Tai Chi. And then this video should be able to play. This is just another great simple Tai Chi movement to get if you're interested in it.
Victoria, she just has to click right on the video.
Yeah, I think so. If it's not playing, the link is also listed there. If you wanted to take write it down or take a picture of it or something.
Has anybody in the audience tried Tai Chi as a nice way for relaxation or mind-body connection? You can answer or type in the chat.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question.
While we're waiting for
Not
technology to catch up.
specifically. Maybe you can jump up and show us how to do this.
We might have to go back to that other slide, and Victoria, you might have to make a rainbow for us.
There you go.
Yeah, we can try the first couple of
You would just
exercises
give
if
me
the
a
video isn't
moment.
working.
It wouldn't let me play sound without typing in my password, which I forgot. So here we go.
Lift up high, and then I'm going to sink down, palms facing me, and I'm slowly making the hands into a fist. Cross hands, open the hands, and lift up again.
Yep, so
Hi,
that's just a
everybody.
great that's just a great movement to help with focusing on flexibility, opening up, and also working on the deep breathing during that as well.
So, hi everyone, my name is Philip. I'm just going to be talking a little bit about yoga and how it impacts the mind, the body, cognition, and generally speaking, mental health. So, I just want to ask a question. Does anybody here has ever tried yoga or on a regular basis, do yoga or has a family member or friend that does yoga?
I
So
do,
yes,
not yoga.
I see a lot. Yeah. So yoga has has a strong impact on the mind and the body in terms of, generally speaking. So what is yoga as a whole? It's a mind-body practice that, in combination with a physical postures, breathing, meditation, and it helps promote that physical, mental, and emotional well-being of the body. So here are just some things that yoga really impact. So yoga, generally speaking, it lowers cortisol levels and increases mindfulness, which in turn reduces symptoms of anxiety and stress. So it lowers stress and anxiety in general. It also helps with focus and memory. So regular practicing of yoga improves that attentive memory, and it enhances the brain function. Also, it puts us in a better mood. So it increases those serotonin levels and reduces those symptoms of depression. And it also promotes neuroplasticity. So neuroplasticity, it refers to the brain's way of adapting and making new connections throughout a person's life. So it's the ability to, if you learn something new and adapt to a new environment. So it's the neural connections in response to learning. So yoga is a really great tool to boost those aspects of the body.
So going more off of what Phil said, yoga also has great impacts on brain health. And when we're talking about brain health, we can refer to it also as cortical thickness. Cortical thickness is pretty much just how thick your brain is in certain areas. And if you look down on the picture at the bottom, you can see that as you age naturally, you lose this thickness in certain areas of the brain. And increased cortical thickness, increased brain thickness has been associated with increased intelligence, increased memory, increased cognition. And yoga has been shown to have these positive increases on increasing cortical thickness. So if you're looking to get a little sharper and keep up the good cognition as you age, yoga is a great thing to take up or continue practicing as you get older. Even doing yoga 1 time a week for 12 weeks was shown to have positive impacts on verbal memory and increase thickness in the areas of the brain that are responsible for cognition. So now on the next slide, I'm going to be taking us through a quick little seated at-home yoga routine that you can do in your chair and the comfort of your own home. Before we start, has anyone ever done seated yoga? Would anyone like to share any experience that they've had with it?
Did it this afternoon, led by you. So it was
Wow.
good experience.
Thank you, Josh. I really appreciate it. So now we're gonna get started on this routine. We're gonna do all of these exercises 2 times, and we'll begin with the seated spinal twist. So sitting in our chair, we're gonna have a nice upright posture, shoulders rounded back, chest tall. What we're gonna do is just turn to the side and then grab the other side of our leg of our chair and just rotate the trunk. And we'll hold it for a few seconds. And then we'll come back to the middle.
All right.
We'll do this one more time. Come back to the middle. Then we'll go to the one side. Return to the middle. And then we'll go to the other side. Perfect. So the next one is called the extended side angle. As you can see in the picture, this lady has her feet straddled out and is like kind of awkwardly sitting on the chair. We can just do this one sitting normally with our legs facing forward. But pretty much all we're going to do is take one arm and we're just going to lift it up over our head and then reach towards the sky and just flex our body to the other side. And we'll hold this for a few seconds. Come back to the middle. And we'll do the same thing to the other side. Perfect. We'll do this one more time. Back to the middle, and then to the other side. Great. And then our last position is called the cat-cow. I'll like rotate my chair so you can get a little better view of my trunk. With this one, you start with your hands kind of on your knees, and you puff your chest up, round your shoulders back, and then put your head up towards the sky. And then as you do the movement, what you're going to do is slowly bring your head down, round your shoulders, and round your back so that you end up in a curled position. And then you can just continue to keep going in between these 2 different positions, holding it at the top and holding it at the bottom for a few seconds. And we can just do this a few times. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys for joining me through that routine. I hope that you liked it. Seated at-home yoga is a great alternative for going out into your community and taking a yoga class if you don't have accesses to transportation or don't want to have to go pay for a yoga class at a facility or something. Doing seated at-home yoga is a great way to stay active, and it's free, and you can do it every day at your own home.
Hi, everyone. My name is Saima. So I'm going to be talking about another impact activity that you can do, which is aquatic exercise. So what is aquatic exercise? So these are specific exercises performed in water to improve strength, endurance, and flexibility. So you may ask, what is the difference between exercising in water compared to land? So specific properties of water actually reduce strain on the joints while still enhancing therapeutic outcomes. So it can be helpful for patients recovering from surgery, dealing with chronic pain, or even managing balance issues. So it also promotes relaxation and reduced stress. And the best part is that it's a natural way of building muscle strength without excessive stress on joints. Later in this presentation, we'll be giving you some free resources where you can get access to a pool.
Hi everyone, my name is Melissa and I'll be talking about walking and its effects on your health. So walking is an easy and accessible way to get active, and specifically brisk walking, which is the speed between casual walking and speed walking. It's been found that walking for 45 minutes 3 times per week can improve mobility, strength, flexibility, and endurance in older adults, as well as improve cholesterol levels, which leads to improved heart health. These 45 minutes can be broken up throughout the day. It doesn't need to be all at once. So you could do like 15 minutes of walking 3 times per day, and you would get the same effects. And one way you could increase the intensity of the walking is by swinging your arms like this man in the picture here.
Hello, my name's Mike, and I'm going to be talking about walking and cognition. So going off of Melissa a little bit. So cognition is just relating to your brain. It's like how we think and understand and are able to sense what is around us. So what can walking do? It can help increase memory, attention, and creativity. It can also increase our spatial orientation. So what that means is our awareness of our body with objects around us. So like if you're at the grocery store, just navigating and not like bumping into people, or like when you turn into an aisle, you're able to not hit the end cap. So that's what spatial orientation means. It also improves cardiorespiratory fitness. So what that means is just our heart and lungs ability to pump blood throughout our body. And then it also helps with balance. And I know it's getting colder now and we're getting into the winter, but indoor and outdoor walking are both beneficial, but walking outside resulted in better brain function. So if you're able to take advantage of the spring, summer, and fall months and get outside, and if anybody was here for the first presentation from my cohort about nature, then you will know the benefits of going outside in nature. The only caveat about walking outside is just be aware of the terrain you're on. So make sure you're on an even surface, like a sidewalk, to decrease the risk of falls. And then just like we're getting into winter time. So if it's icy or a lot of snow, better to play it safe and stay indoors and just find, if you're able to, a space inside to walk.
Hi everyone, my name is Nicole. So I'm just going to be talking about moderate to high resistance training. So resistance training, we can think about it as anything that involves using weights, resistance bands, and even if you don't have access to those types of equipment, you can use things around the house such as like soup cans or gallon like milk or water jugs. Those are pretty effective as well as creating some resistance. So this resistance training has been found to increase lean body mass, muscular strength, and functional autonomy. So functional autonomy is simply the ability to perform everyday activities without needing assistance. So those activities would include things like dressing yourself, doing your own hair, cooking, and feeding yourself. And as we know, as we age, we want to be able to maintain those things and continue having that sort of autonomy. So I just want to highlight 3 key things about having lean body mass over fat mass. So with lean body mass, we have seen that it improves bone health. And this is quite important, especially as we age, because we are at greater risk for things like osteoporosis. So that lean body mass is going to allow us to have stronger bones and decrease the risk of osteoporosis. Lean body mass also is going to help with blood sugar control. Muscles are able to uptake sugar a lot more readily than fat cells are. So the more muscle mass that you have, the better your body is able to absorb that sugar that you eat on your daily basis. And the last key point is that muscle mass, or that lean body mass, is going to increase your metabolism. So as we age, it is sort of common that we all are going to decrease the amount of calories that we burn. But with muscle mass, we are able to improve the amount of calories that we burn even at rest, not just during exercise. So those key things are going to want to make us have a little bit more lean mass over that fat mass.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Julia Gleesman. I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about circuit training and breathing muscle strengthening kind of going off of what Nicole said, except we're going to be involving breathing training into the circuit training. So why do breathing training? It has a lot of great benefits, and including cardiovascular benefits. It can help increase your strength and flexibility. It has been shown to improve lung capacity, so the amount of air that you can fill into your lungs, and overall improved quality of life. And again, they can be combined with circuit training, but also a lot of other of the great exercises we've mentioned today. So Tai Chi and also yoga. And I know that not everyone has a inspiratory muscle training machine at home. So I thought that we could practice some breathing muscle strengthening exercise right now. So I'm going to demonstrate them to you guys first, and then we'll do them all together. So you're going to take your hands and you're going to half plug your nostrils. So about 50% of your nostrils. And you're going to take a big, deep breath, and then we're going to hold it, and then we're going to release it. And when you release it, we're going to take our fingers off. So we're going to do a 4-second inhale, a 4-second hold, and a 4-second exhale. And we're going to run through this twice. All right. So all together. Great. Now you guys are all going to have really strong lungs. Just kidding. But that can be practiced as many times as you want, as many times a day. And again, can be combined with any sort of exercise you're doing, or just with your daily routine. You can be cooking, you can be reading a book, and just, or even before bed. It's really great for you. Josh is going to tell you guys a little bit about functional training now.
Thank you, Julia. So I'm Josh. I was going to talk to you guys a little bit about functional training. So while resistance training and circuit training are really beneficial for those strength gains and endurance gains, functional training kind of integrates all of those benefits into movements that really closely mimic everyday movements that we all do. So, like I said, functional training is a combination of all of these exercises that help you increase strength and help to better increase coordination and balance so that you can do these everyday activities. So, what does functional training look like? So, it looks like squatting, which is like sitting in your chair. It looks like reaching overhead, like when we reach to hang up curtains or hang up a picture. It also looks like glute bridges, like this picture down here at the bottom. That closely mimics when you slide in and out of your bed. We can go to the next one. Oh, there it is. So just like that one right there is good. So just like a couple classmates before, I have a video that I want some of you guys to do. Some pretty easy functional, some exercises in functional training that I'd like all of us to stand up and try. Again, if you guys do have some balance issues, it would be best for you guys to hold on to a chair.
Let me know when you're ready for me to hit play.
As soon as everyone stands up, or whoever's going to participate stands up.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yes. So I'm going to take you guys through maybe the first two, and then I really want us to try the last one. So I'll just let you know. I do want you to pause it after they show us so that we can try a couple repetitions, okay?
Sure.
Okay, so you can start it.
All right, let me start from the beginning then.
Here's a gentle exercise routine for seniors.
Okay. So you can play this through just a little bit more. Okay, so now we can pause it. So I want us to try that. It's a march in place. And again, if you have some balance issues, just hold on to the chair. It'll be good support for you. So we're just going to raise our knees up. And I know you can't really see my knees. I'll try to bring this down a little bit. So we're just going to raise those knees up. We'll do this about 5 times. Okay, and we can go to the next one. So this one mimics reaching overhead, like I said. So I know he has water bottles. He's kind of using them as resistance, but with functional training, you don't need any resistance. So we're just going to raise our arms above our head and then back down. And we can do this 5 times. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now if you could you fast forward almost to the end of the video? Keep going. I'll let you know when to stop. Keep going. Right here is good. And then we'll play right there. Perfect. So this is something, like I said, that we do every day, all the time, sitting and standing. So you can pause it and we'll try that 5 times, okay? Just sit down in your chair and then stand up. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Thank you, guys. I know you guys are probably a little tired. Okay, so like I said, functional training does have a lot of benefits. So you get benefits such as increasing your strength and power in your legs and your core. That'll help you with walking, your walking speed, increases the distance that you're able to walk. It also helps with your balance to protect you from falling. So this also helps to improve your memory and your attention as you exercise. Your brain gets increased blood flow and it lowers your level of stress, so you can increase your attention and your memory. It also has benefits with breathing. So functional exercise helps to strengthen your muscles of breathing and increase your lung capacity. And then it also helps you to manage inflammatory diseases. So these are diseases such as diabetes, COPD, arthritis. It does this by decreasing inflammatory markers in your body, which in turn will decrease inflammation throughout your whole body. So this picture just shows, again, some of the benefits. Most importantly, it allows you to be independent. So functional training is a very versatile and very accessible form of exercise that almost anybody can do of any age and any fitness level. And it'll help you become independent.
Hi everyone, my name's Reagan. So I'm going to be talking about some immune system benefits of exercise. So aerobic and resistance exercise have a lot of positive benefits on your immune system, but these are just some 3 major benefits. So exercise can help decrease the ratio of immune cells that put you at an increased risk of cancer, bacterial infections, and tuberculosis. It also can help your body fight infection because it increases the cells that help you fight infections, so like your lymphocytes and your neutrophils and all those fun things. And it also helps decrease the inflammatory markers in your blood that can cause you to have an excess immune response. So you can go to the next one. So these are just some examples of resistance and aerobic exercises. So these are some easy ones that you can do with a band, or some easy aerobic exercises. So like running, jumping jacks, boxing. But I do want to highlight that while we're giving you so many like exercises that you can do, the best exercise that you can do for yourself is the one that you enjoy the most. So if there's any exercise that you enjoy doing, like if you enjoy walking, that's the best exercise for you. So yeah.
So I'm Owen, and I'll be talking about static stretching and its effect on quality of life. So first of all, static stretching is just a technique that involves holding a position that stretches muscles. It could be a single muscle or a group of muscles. The best hold time for these is 30 seconds, but if you're just starting out, you can have it at 10 seconds, 20 seconds, whichever one is most comfortable. There's a lot of benefits to static stretching. The main 3 are increasing strength, increasing flexibility, and increasing range of motion. And on the next slide, I have a chart with some positions you can try. So right here are just some basic ones with some high use. You get a lot of use out of these ones. For older adults that may be at a fall risk, though, you'd want to hold on to something during these, have maybe a soft mat underneath you just to increase your safety. And if you see on the right of the screen, I have the MyFitnessPal app here. This is good for any older adults that maybe aren't used to stretching, need some help setting up a program, keeping track of a program. It can be used for regular exercise as well, but it's also very good just to keep your static stretching program all together.
Hi, everyone. My name is Megan, and I'm going to be talking to you today about a few different factors that exercise can help with. So sort of switching gears, but we will also be talking about some things that my classmates have already brought up. So first, if everyone feels comfortable, can everyone who has maybe felt depressed or sad or down at one point in their life raise their hand? Okay. So a good number of us, it's definitely something that a lot of people have experienced. It's pretty prevalent even in younger populations. It isn't just something that is unique to the aging population, but it is something that, we need to look at because it can go, unmanaged in a lot of ways. But good news, exercise has been found to decrease depressive symptoms as effectively as medication. So this offers a lot of benefits in the way of if a patient or a person is not able to access healthcare in a way where they would be able to be prescribed these medications. Some people have adverse effects to medications and aren't able to take them. Or some people just don't want to take any medication and would prefer a more natural, holistic approach to it. So exercise has been found to work just as well for these patients. Has anyone here, I know we've all, a couple of us have mentioned that we've had the more depressed moments of our life. Has anyone found a little bit of solace in exercise at one point? Yeah. Josh, do you want to talk about maybe how this worked out for you?
Yeah, so I mean, one thing that I can really think about is when I hurt my knee. Obviously, I needed to do exercise to come back, but I think doing exercise just made me a lot more happy about my situation in general. Made me feel really confident in myself again.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. And that kind of offers a perfect segue into the next thing I'll be talking about, which is when you're injured, you can become less mobile and it can affect your mental health. So the next topic we'll be talking about is fall risks. They are prevalent as we get older, we tend to fall a little bit more. It's said anywhere between 1 out of 4 adults over the age of 65 fall each year, which that's a lot of falls. And if there's any way that we can minimize that, we definitely want to be doing that. And one of those surefire ways has been proven is regular exercise in our elderly population. It has been seen to decrease both incidence of falls, so number of falls that we see each year, as well as repetitive falls. So people who have fallen more than once. And it's been shown to help with that because we also have the effects of osteoporosis, which if we're not familiar with what osteoporosis is, it is a decrease in your bone density that occurs after a certain age. It's a little bit more common in women just due to once they go through menopause, they have a decrease in the hormone known as estrogen. And it affects the deposition of their bone, or just for lack of a better term, just bone reforming just goes down. And regular exercise actually decreases the rate at which our bones decrease that density. So this is a really great option, and that we can promote to have our aging population exercise.
So to wrap up our presentation, I'm going to be talking about some ways to get active, as well as a great resource to utilize if you're looking to get active. So the first one I'm going to talk about is exercise-based video games. And these are just video games such as the Wii that require you to move around in order to play them. And these have been found to improve both balance and mobility in older individuals. And it's also just a great way to get active and have fun with either family or friends or whoever you want to play with. And then next, online exercise programs are also great, especially for those with barriers to transportation or those who just want to stay at home and exercise. And these have been found to be just as effective as in-person exercise programs for improving functional outcomes in the elderly. Then the next one is community-based exercise programs. These have also been proven to improve physical activity, strength, mobility, and they also decrease the risk of falls in the elderly, as Megan was just talking about. And some great places to look for exercise programs in the community include the YMCA, senior centers, or community centers. And then I want to highlight the Silver Sneakers program, which is a health and fitness promotion program for individuals over the age of 65 who have a Medicare Advantage plan. So at the Silver Sneakers website, which I've linked here, there's a lot of great resources which can point you in the direction of workout videos, online fitness classes, and also give locations for in-person classes in your community. This program also offers free membership to the YMCA, so that means you can utilize any of their facilities and you can go to their different fitness classes as well as use their fitness center and the pool for that aquatic exercise, as Simon was talking about earlier. And that's just a great way to implement these exercises we've been talking about in our presentation into your life. And on the Silver Sneakers website, there's an instant eligibility check, which allows you to just put in like your name and your birthday, and it'll let you know if you're eligible for the program.
So this is Josh's, so you should read it, Josh.
Yeah, I was about to. So I really like this quote when I found it. I thought it just fit really perfectly in what we were talking about. So we do not stop exercising because we grow old. We grow old because we stop exercising.
Very nice. Very cool. That was great. That it helped to answer one of my questions of why does it seem like when we get older we get, less mobile, right? And we're just not moving as much, right? So that's pretty cool. So we're taking questions at this time. I know we're on Facebook Live as well. So if anybody on Facebook Live is watching, want to ask questions, put them in the chat. But if anybody here wants to ask any questions, we have that opportunity right now. So I have a couple of questions. It's interesting. You talked about like yoga and Tai Chi putting us in a better mood, but it enhances our focus and memory. How does it do that? Because that's something that, you wouldn't necessarily correlate with exercise.
Oh, I can take a little bit and then you can say something after Phil. Sorry. So as I was talking about earlier, the brain like thickness that you have or cortical thickness, how thick those certain areas of your brain are is associated with the functional status of that area of the brain. So if you have a thicker like frontal gyrus, that's supported and shows that those people have better cognition and function. So doing yoga and doing these different types of mind-body exercises has positive increases on brain thickness, which then in turn can lead to having better function and memory, just because it's just promoting like healthy brain.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just going off of what Nate was saying, thank you, Nate. There are, also a lot of studies that have shown that, they take two groups and they compare them. So one group might be involved with yoga, and this was for the elderly population, and the other group did just regular, different exercises, maybe like just walking or various aerobic exercises, and then the other group would do yoga. And then at towards the end, they found that the ones that were involved with the yoga group, they demonstrated more attentive focus, like memorization skills, and they did that by they did like different games, I guess you would call it, like different, that would show how much they could remember. So that was, there was studies based on that. So
I would add, and that is a very good question. And, the field of psychoneuroimmunology is not that new. I mean, it's based on quantum physics, but I will say the NIH right now is really interested in figuring out how holistic and integrative interventions have such positive and beneficial effects, right? So we don't have as much science research on some of these things as we do on other things like aerobic exercise or resistance exercise. And some of that comes from traditionally in this country, the people who were teaching Tai Chi and yoga maybe weren't scientists, clinicians, right? But now in this country, I'm sure you're aware, a lot of our healthcare dollars are spent chasing diseases that are preventable, right? And so we're starting to, as a country, and the National Institute of Health and the National Institute on Complementary and Alternative Health, start to really look at what is the scientific evidence and what are the mechanisms that make those things happen. And the answer is we really don't exactly know yet. Some things we know, and we have a lot more to learn.
Okay. All right. And then you mentioned walking outside, gives you better cognition, better creativity. And it just seems to be better for your brain also. So why is that? Is part of that the nature, that discussion that we had a few months back, or is it something else?
Yeah, it's mainly just like getting outside, getting away from your screen, because we're so used to being inside all the time, just getting outside in nature. I mean, they looked at creativity via like an alternate uses test. So you give, like, an example is like a coffee cup, and you have like 2 minutes to write down as many like different scenarios as you can. Like, what could you use that for? Like, you could use it to plant some basil or something like that. So that's what they measured, but I think it's mainly because you're just getting outside in nature.
I mean, I would add that for those that missed our the benefits of outdoor nature exposure or the benefits of nature exposure, go back and take a look at that, because that's all based on the biophilic theory that, we grew up in nature, right? And we are comfortable in nature, and we relax in nature, and there's parts of nature that tap into our primitive brain function that make us feel better. That technology and urbanization has somewhat detracted from.
All right. Can doing these strength training exercises help you lose weight?
So, from what I found, some studies say yes, and some studies say no. So it's kind of more dependent. I specifically looked into one that compared men and women, and it found that the men were able to lose more weight, and the women saw no significant difference in it. But they did, at the end, kind of hypothesize that it might have to do with the population that they were looking at, and the fact that most of them were all postmenopausal. And that played a role in the inability to lose weight as effectively as the men. But there's definitely still like a lot of research that article stated that needs to be had, as far as like if men and women are able to effectively lose weight the same.
If I can just go off of what Nicole said about the losing weight, I feel like that would have to be something you would work with that person to understand that the exercise does have lots of benefits, and one of which is it can increase your metabolism. It can make you burn more calories, but it would have to be like, it is definitely best paired with a nutrition change. If that person is, you can work out and you will still see benefits even if you don't change your nutrition. But if their goal is to lose weight, I would say this topic definitely needs to be coupled with nutrition, because it's just such a huge part. We don't sometimes we just don't know what we're eating, what's in what we're eating. So a little bit of education on like how the exercise and the nutrition plays in if weight loss is the goal.
All right, multiple things together, working together. All right. We have a question in. What are some things people who need to be in a horizontal position for an extended period of time can do on their own to stay active?
I think there's plenty of exercises. I mean, I can exercise in just about any position from upside down to lying down, right? I think if this is a question more about somebody who maybe is lost mobility and spends time in bed because, they have functional decline, there's plenty of exercises. Isometric exercises are a great way to start, where you just tighten the muscles, squeeze the muscle, hold the muscle for a count of 5 or 10, and then relax. The breathing exercises can be done in any position, and you can do range of motion exercises for most of your joints, laying on your back. And my students probably could add to this. I think one of them can for sure.
So
I was gonna, oh, go ahead, Josh.
yeah, just to add on to that, because in one of my slides I talked about glute bridges. Yeah, to kind of scale it back, they could do like maybe some glute squeezes, or maybe some what we call quad sets, would be squeezing your quads. They could also practice those breathing exercises. They can also, if they still have mobility in their arms and they really can't move their legs, they can do some of that functional stuff like raising their arms overhead.
Yeah, Josh kind of highlighted a little bit, but I was definitely going to say, including the breathing training could be done for anyone in any position, any time of day, anywhere you are, laying down, sitting at your desk. So that's definitely something you could add to your repertoire of things to do lying down.
Good, that's beneficial. We're not as restricted as we think, right? We can always be doing something.
Yeah, I think it's a mindset. I think people sometimes get into the mindset of what they can't do as opposed to what they can do, right? So, I always tell my patients that you have to meet yourself where you are on any given day. Meet yourself where you are, meet yourself where you are with grace. Don't try and compare to where you are today to where you were yesterday. But, the question is, what can I do today to feel good in my body? And what can I do today to help build a better body for tomorrow, better mind and body for tomorrow, and spirit for tomorrow?
Yeah, yeah. As you were talking, I was thinking about how I got up from my desk today, and I was thinking, if I just pace back and forth, I'd get my steps in. And that's a good, right? Somebody's like, why are you pacing? Well, I'm pacing to get my steps in and to think, right? So we can incorporate those things.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing. I think as a society, we've somewhat compartmentalized exercise. So, you go to the gym and it's okay to exercise there, but not necessarily okay to exercise in the middle of a faculty meeting or some other venue. I will say my family almost always, when we travel together, wants to disown me, because if I'm in an airport about to get on a plane, I'm on the floor doing yoga on the floor in the airport. And almost everybody who's waiting for the plane is like, I hope I don't sit next to that woman on the plane. But when I get on the plane, then I can sit still, right? And so I'll exercise anywhere, and I honestly really don't care what other people think about me exercising, because it's about me. It's not about them. I mean, I'm not disruptive with it, but I'm just saying we have this perspective like exercise is good in a gym or in one specific place, but that's not true. That's not true.
Yeah, good point. Good point. All right. Last question, unless I see another one pop in. It seems like this functional strength training kind of looks a little like some physical therapy. Is there some relationship or correlation there?
I think there is, of course, a large correlation. As physical therapists, we want you to be able to continue to do the things that you want to and you have to do every day. So I think it's very beneficial for us to all kind of take in some of what I said and apply it to when we actually start treating patients, that we want them to become as functionally independent as they can be, whether it be an aging population or an athlete. We want them to be able to get back to what they would like to do and reach their own goals.
Yes. So it doesn't, even though this is a physical therapy department, we don't just have to do these exercises for the specific goal of physical therapy. They're related, right? So awesome. Awesome. Thank you all so much. And we appreciate everyone who has attended this evening and who will be watching later. We hope this was helpful for you and that you learned something. And we're going to take a break from these Tuesday with the Doctors over the holidays, and we will reconvene on January 28 at 6:30 p.m. for our next Tuesday with the Doctor. We have other information at joyoftroy.org, and we hope everyone has a wonderful evening and happy holidays.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Happy holidays.